Well, good day, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's Models here. I would have had a morning video out, but my mouse was acting up. So I dug out the little, this is a nice aftermarket mouse, but it's getting kind of old. And maybe that's what's happening. I figure, well, I'll test it. I'll get the little old cheapo mouse that came with the computer. And I couldn't find the dongle for it, the little antenna. And I was like, I know it. I left that where I could find it, even though we've moved and everything else. But I was like, no, I remember that. So this just turns into looking for that lost part from a model. I wound up tearing the office apart looking for it. The whole morning was shot because I wound up doing this unplanned cleaning / organization on my office. This picture here is, mid-search. Finally, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's gone to the winds. I'll just have to keep struggling with the old one and maybe go get a new one, blah, blah, blah. Of course, as I'm putting everything away and getting reorganized, I'm just about done. There it is. A place I'd looked 3 or 4 times, but it was just in a little dark corner where I couldn't see it. Luckily, the original mouse does work, although it's not nearly as nice as the one I'd had, but it works, so we're back in business. What I wanted to talk about today was the ordinance on the famous toilet bomber, the Sky Raider that I'm working on. I had found numerous builds of the model online. I also found several websites that had information on it, but they were all in disagreement about the bomb loadout. And you'd think, well, there's so much film footage and so many photographs taken that they're pretty easy to figure out, but actually it's harder than you would think. And I learned a whole bunch of stuff from this website, which seems to be the best of the lot. So let me bore you with an interesting little story about the famous Paper Tiger 2 that did the famous toilet bomb drop. It was a celebration of the 6 millionth pound of ordnance dropped. The bomb loadout was 3 M64 500 pounders, and although people don't get into it, I'm pretty sure it's a mirror image on each wing. But there were also a couple of M57 250 pounders put in there. Now, I'm not sure what the idea behind the ordnance mix was. Maybe it's what would fit. Maybe it was what the plane could carry on the mission, or maybe it's just all they needed. The point being that the photographs are deceptive, and let me tell you why. This is the quote-unquote interesting part. If you look at this famous photograph, probably the most popular one of the airplane, on what I'm calling pylon 1, which is the large inner pylon, there are also 6 smaller pylons that are symmetrical. On the big one, you see a bomb. Now, because it's on a different pylon, it's mounted in a different position. But also, as you look at the shape, it appears to be longer and straighter than a regular tapered 500-pound bomb. It almost looks like a cluster bomb unit or perhaps something for dispensing chaff. This has led a lot of model builders to assume it was a different piece of ordnance and put that on their model. Turns out it actually is another M64 bomb. The reason it looks different is that the inner gear door hangs just below it in that line of sight, and given the limited amount of light where you can't really see the red trim very well, it looks like the bottom of the bomb, and it goes perfectly back to the tail, and it disguises the shape of the bomb. In this enhanced photo, you can see it a little bit better. And that's what confused people. Now, they can't see the M57 250 pounder because it is shorter, ergo from this angle photograph, it's not in view. So going from the large inner pylon out, you should have a Mark 64 500 pounder. Then moving over to the symmetrical bomb racks, you should have the M57 250 pounder, another M64, skip a bomb rack, another M64, skip a bomb rack, and the toilet. I'm sure the port wing would mirror the starboard wing less the toilet, because the toilet doesn't weigh that much. Just to be a little bit of drag, nothing they couldn't handle. And also notice that what I believe is the 400-gallon drop tank on the center line has a truncated rear end, which I've only seen 1 or 2 models where people caught that little detail. So that is what I wanted to talk about that. So that is how I will be doing the loadout on the toilet bomber. One last thing. I've been getting comments both for and against the music I've been tacking on. So I do this for fun and I enjoy it. So I'll probably keep tacking it on from time to time when I feel like it, but as a courtesy to everyone, I'll put it after the credits. So if you don't want to listen to it, just once you see the credits roll, the outro, just click off. Okay, guys, that's what we have for today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day of model building. I hope to get out there soon. I still have some work to do here in the office. You take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you later. And as always, model on.